All right, everybody, we are back with another episode of Pressing These Buttons.
Been about a month and a half.
It has been. There's been some news. Like good example. Let's see. What's dropped in the news?
Evo Sony. Let's talk about that fucking
Well,
because
before.
I don't want to delay that because there's a lot
Yeah.
of stuff with that, and I
Uh,
feel if we delayed it, might as well just get it out the way now.
all right, so we're just skipping the salad bar and going straight for the freaking meat and
We
potatoes.
got to.
Okay.
That's what people come here for. They come here to the meat and potatoes, and then everything else it boils into other stories. But so Sony is teaming up with Evo. If when last you heard of us talk, actually last time you heard us on Pressing Buttons, we talked about the fact that Mr. Wizard got ousted
Oh yes.
from Evo because actually it might have been last episode, the episode before that, because it's been a while. Actually it was 2020. Yeah, it was late last year when we did it that we talked about it. But since then, a lot of other places and stuff, whether it's On Blast Show and a lot of other stuff on event hubs, everybody's speculating what's going to be the future of Evo and stuff. Now we're finally kind of getting to a point with COVID right now where things are starting to, it's looking bright, but nothing is really solid in terms of Evo happening this year. It looks like they're going to do it online this year and stuff. We'll see what happens in 2022.
That was the announcement this year. Was they are doing stuff this year, but it's just online.
Yeah,
and you heard you heard like a collective sound of people just immediately not giving a shit.
I mean, but you know what? I appreciate them at least not trying to do like other places. And look, if you don't have a plan, don't do shit in person, straight up. So I at least appreciate Evo. So I at least appreciate Evo saying, you know what, we could YOLO and have an Evo and not give a fuck about COVID and all that shit. But no, I appreciate them saying, you know what, let's wait for 2022. We'll do online. Obviously, there are people that will do it online, and it's for free on 2 weekends.
Like the way I look at it is like this. Sure, Vegas right now is slowly, and I mean very slowly, opening up.
Oh, dude, they've been open. It's just people.
No. I got friends that are out there, and they said that this was probably the most they've seen people out because, like a week before, it was pretty much a ghost town. But
see, last year I didn't see that because I mean I'm pretty sure you remember last year that you heard people going to Vegas for vacationing, and I was like, "Is Vegas
but they did
open?"
But they did turn a lot of that stuff like either down, off, minimized it. You know, Vegas got smart.
Okay, all right, fair.
Took them a little bit,
fair.
but they got smart.
I was like, they about to YOLO over in Vegas? Like, goddamn.
Nah, they're not like that. They didn't go full Texas and Florida.
Yeah, but Evo's over 2 weekends, August 6th through the 8th and August 13th and 15th. And the big news is that Sony is going to be partners with Evo now.
Yeah, with Evo and Riot Games and all the other junk. So, you know, long story short, Sony has basically backed up a truckload of money to the Cannon brothers, and you know, they came to an agreement that Evo is going to be ran pretty much by Sony.
Oh, it's officially esports now.
Yeah, we like, I don't know if there is any other indication to tell us that we are now officially Eat Sports. But the thing that I'm like, since we're jumping into it, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on this. I immediately looked on Twitter. I looked on our Kappa. I looked everywhere where all the FGC crap goes on. And you just saw like the big tidal wave of people saying, "Oh man, rest in peace, Grassroots. Like Grassroots is dead now. Thanks, Sony." I'm like, you know, CJ, can we be super real? Can I be super real? Can I please be super real?
Go for it. Go for it.
We have not been Grassroots in almost a decade.
I mean, here's the thing.
I want to say at least a full decade. We have not been Grassroots.
We're Grassroots in the sense of, like, on one hand, you're still free to hold tournaments anytime you want to, and you're not have to be at the discretion of Capcom or anything else. That's what they mean. Now, granted, your stuff like ECT and what the fuck is Jabeli's thing down in Florida,
like Combo Breaker
and things like that,
and Big E's events.
I mean, Big E's events, they're still rooted in grassroots stuff. So it's, I don't know, it feels like Grassroots is very loose in nature. Like, I don't know what people mean by that.
No, see, I know what they're talking about. They, you know, they're still acting like it's fucking B5 and shit. And, before
slumming it up with no money.
Slumming it up with no fucking money. Nobody got paid. Everybody just got bragging rights, or as I like to call it, the prize pot, where people's entry fees went to that prize pot, or at least a percentage of it did. People still acting like, like we're living in those days where it's B5. It's like the first year of Evo and shit.
I mean, it reminds me
the moment Evo left the ballrooms of a hotel and ended up in the goddamn Mandalay Bay. Like, as soon as they ended up in Mandalay, I was like, dude, we're no longer grassroots. You guys took over. We took the moment Evo took over Mandalay, it was a wrap.
Well, I mean, because
grassroots is done.
It's like anything else. It's kind of like comic book conventions and stuff, right? Because if you remember back in the day at comic book conventions, you even look at anime conventions, the early Otakon, and I don't know if you went. I went to the very first Otakon before they went into the Baltimore convention when they were at the hotel. I don't know if you went to it or not.
My first
Otakon did you go after? Did you go after when they went at the convention?
My first Otakon was 2003.
So you went after they went to the convention center.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was before. I was in '99. They were only like a corner of the convention center, so it was like it was small as shit. But that was my first time going to a convention, but it was like small. And it's like with comic book conventions where it starts small, and then once you start adding in all the mainstream stuff, it gets big. And it's like, well, San Diego ain't the old school comic book convention anymore either. And I went to Evo, and this is like 2014, and Evo was still in the convention center. Right. And even then, with the entertainment and the stuff that they had on display, I'm not gonna say they were big time, but you could sense that it was getting to that point of being big time. And like you said, once 5 hit and they were at Mandalay Bay, actually, I take it a step further. To be honest, once Street Fighter 4 hit ESPN, you were big time at that point.
That's where, that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Which is why I said a decade ago. A decade ago.
2009.
Like 08, 09. That moment when Street Fighter 4 had a GameStop tournament. A big nationwide GameStop tournament. I'm like, yo, grassroots and everything. Grassroots is it's on its way out of here, bro. And then Evo, again, once we were just waiting for Evo because Evo had to make that transition because every year more people attend Evo.
Yeah. And hot monsters or whether they're regular people that want to turn, it's a mix of people.
And, regardless of the reason of why people go there, that's still more attendance numbers that just continue to go up. And for that, you're going to need a venue for that event.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment they announced Mandalay Bay was the next area that they were going to take over with Street Fighter 5, I was like, hold up. You guys took over Mandalay?
Which is a big deal.
That's a huge deal. At that point, I'm like, dude, it's a wrap. And then on top of that, you guys had continued coverage on Twitch, and then you were on ESPN.
Well, Twitch was a big game changer for a lot of stuff because I mean, think about it. We're from the old school. We're from the old school era of Justin TV.
Yeah,
and all that shit.
No, not even just Justin TV, dude. You and I, we go even further back, man. We go back to not finding out about shit until like the night after, or the day after the event was over, and then you got to see all the video clips on SRK forums.
Well, actually, take it a step further. If you're really old school like us, VHS tapes.
Yeah, the VHS tapes. No, better yet, the VHS. No, better yet, the VHS tapes. The VHS tapes that got transcoded into being released online
on Sonic Hurricane. Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, Sonic Hurricane.
On Real Player, guys. Real Player.
The old Real Player downloads. And you thought you were the shit when you downloaded Divx.
Dude, our computer at home was straight garbage trying to download Real Player. Hey, where am I? This is like, okay, so I was in high school, so me and Eris. I think Eris, you probably out of any people that I knew, I think Clinton didn't have widespread broadband connections. I think you're the only one that I knew that had like an actual high-speed internet connection. Because our neighborhood only had 56K at the time. They didn't have the lines built yet.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Oh, no. Look, don't count me out. I was right there with you in the 56K crew. I was there. That was.
I remember the latter part of high school. You had a fast connection.
I did.
So but I just remember I watched all the stuff from SRK from the school computers because obviously school computers, they got fast.
That was the only place that we could watch it.
Yeah, so I saw all the combo videos and all the highlights from tournaments off of the school computers on there. And again, that's back in the day when you could just watch it on Real Player and everything. So it's like it's a long time coming to see that evolution. And like you said, they're past esports. They're esports. You're not going back to grassroots, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, hey, as long as there's a bit layer of control there within reason.
No, see, I think where people I guess are getting confused is when they say grassroots. Some people again think, oh, we're gonna have to be like super corporate. You know, we can't trash talk. We can't pop off like we want to. You know, I feel that certain parts of FGC is fearing that they're going to get regulated like the NFL.
It's only as regular.
When celebrations got banned after touchdowns, that shit.
Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real. Somebody might think that I'm bullshitting. You know what this really is? This is a bunch of people, and me and you and D have talked about this. This is a bunch of people that just aren't fucking mature, so they can't say the most grotesque stuff on live streams anymore. And I'm like, dude, grow the fuck up. Like, at some point, you can't say the nastiest shit on streams anymore. Those days are gone. And to be honest, it's a welcome addition because you have to grow up at some point. Like if I'm a person, it's like if I'm a person that say I'm not in that thing, I'm not in the FGC like that, right? And I'm watching a Twitch stream of it and stuff. At some point, yeah, I want to see these people have fun. Don't get it twisted. Have your fun. But you just can't make the gross jokes and think that, oh, ha, ha, it's funny. It's like, no, nobody's going to think that's funny. It is going to be like whatever and stuff. Versus seeing, like, say, Yipes. Yipes knows how to be funny as hell when he does his commentating to where you're entertained, but he can do that. That's the balance that people that I think you need and stuff versus just lowest common denominator stuff. You know, it's just you can be professional and still be funny. And I think people just feel, oh, man, it's going to be boring. I'm like, no, it's what you make of it. Like,
right. That's exactly what you make of it. I mean, it's not going to be on that level of, you know, like, I guess like your next level battle circuit with biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who's ever tuned into next level battle circuit like stream with your boy Biscuit, I love that dude because he says like the most out there shit on any on any stream, like especially during the Guilty Gear streams, because he'll trash talk everything that's not an anime fighter.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what it really boils down to with this is that, like, I think a lot of folks, I get the trepidation because again, this thing that if you grew up on it, you feel like you don't want that thing to be gone because you feel once Sony partners up, oh, it's going to be gone. But I'm like, well, if the Cannon brothers are involved, and obviously there are other people involved like Markman, because we heard from Markman himself that he was there during those negotiations. So obviously Sony is not looking to like wholesale change Evo. It's just a partnership. But like I said, when you have a corporate partnership, obviously, hey, you just can't do stupid shit. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point of the partnership. You know, like I'm pretty sure they looked at it from their eyes of like, look, have fun, do what you guys have been doing before. I understand you have your own code of conduct now that came out during COVID.
It's half-assed, but whatever.
You know, pretty half-assed. You know, I'm not even going to go into, you know, certain people who were the original members of that code of conduct book as it was getting put together.
That's a whole story altogether.
That is a whole story. Shout outs to James MK for dropping that story. But you know, even with all of that, Sony, I'm pretty sure they're like, look, have fun, do what you guys do. You know, keep everything in accordance to your code of conduct, and we shouldn't have any problems.
Now, Nintendo, on the other hand,
that was my favorite part.
So somebody asked Nintendo, hey, what do you think about this Sony Evo partnership? And Nintendo's like, I don't know about if we're going to stay with Evo for so long, but let's be real. They've been kind of like if I want to be real, I feel Nintendo and Smash has always had one foot out the door when it came to Evo anyway, despite how big it being at Evo helps the game. If I want to keep it real, and I know there's other Smash tournaments on that level, but it being at Evo, a lot of people in the Smash fandom will tell you it's a big deal.
To a degree,
it is.
It's a big deal. It's a big, you know, especially Smash being a big deal game, and the fact that we have 3-4 Evos of both Melee and Smash Ultimate. No, not Brawl. We never had Brawl. It was all like we got Melee. We just got Melee and Ultimate.
Yeah.
But then before Ultimate, we had Melee and Smash 4. And now that Ultimate came in, it's still been those two. Until finally, after, I think it was like
2 years ago, they cut it like, nope, we're going straight with Ultimate.
Like 2 years ago, they went straight with Ultimate. And I was like, okay.
I'm laughing how the community felt like really got pissed off. I'm like, now you guys sound like the Street Fighter 2 community when they moved on to Street Fighter 3 now. Like, this is bullshit. I'm like, dude, let go of Melee. It's done.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying it's dead. It's just like
it's not. It wasn't that. It was more of they were just they sound like the pissed off individuals who were mad that Super Turbo left Evo. And then they tried to do like the side tournaments where they added Super Turbo back, and you only had just a handful of people that still play that game religiously. And it's not. I don't care how many Super Turbo revivals you do, it's not coming back. And you want to know a good indication that shit was not coming back? When Japan killed SBO.
Yeah, SBO. Now we're going to twist it. SBO. I'm going to be real as somebody, again, we from that era of seeing like all the old SBO stuff back during the CVS1 era, when that was a thing. It was missed and stuff, but from my
it was definitely
wasn't SBO kind of canceled because like money and all that stuff, basically?
It was money and the way that they had it set up, and which I always question because I was there for their last year. And I just had to ask, how the hell have they been doing?
How is it organized? That's the thing that I always heard people say.
No, what I just didn't like about it was they had all the games on cabinets outside. Yeah, the shit was outside.
Why?
Your guess is as good as mine. I always wonder why was it out. Like, I didn't mind the fact that it was outside, but why were we playing the games outside? Like, the fact that you got the sun out. So you're gonna have like glare and reflections off the screen.
I can't see shit, and
you can barely see shit. And I'm like, dude, put up a tent or something. Like, what the hell is this?
I mean, but like Nintendo is kind of like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But granted, Mark, man,
Nintendo, like real talk, Nintendo hit the conceited face ASAP when that news came out, and they were, they hit that. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, but I mean, but like I said, I would appreciate it, Mark, man, for coming out and saying, hey, this doesn't mean that it's a Sony only event. We're still going to have games from other systems and all that stuff. It's just the corporate side of Sony is chipping in on it. They're not controlling everything, which I'm like, okay, thank you. That's all the clarification a lot of people needed, because we thought it was just going to be a Sony only thing, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. This
everybody was like, rest in peace, Smash, rest in peace, like
DOA.
whatever. Like, no, not DOA. It was more of, I guess DOA, but DOA is cross-platform. It was
I know.
Rest in peace, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, Killer Instinct and all that stuff. But it's like, no, we're still gonna do that.
They're like, no, like we'll keep it going. But I feel where Nintendo's coming from is they're gonna do like what they've been trying. Well, I'm not gonna say what they've been trying to do, but what they've been doing. What they've been doing ever since the, I guess like the E3 days, when they said, you know what, screw this, we're gonna have our own thing. We'll have our own Treehouse events. We'll have our Direct Live. We'll put them out whenever we want to, because they can do a Nintendo Direct as many times as they want during the year. Mm-hmm. They don't save all the news and then just pick one day out of the whole year to announce everything. Mm-hmm. They just, they'll make the announcement 1 month, and then another month they can put out another one. Then 2-3 months later they'll put out another one. And I think they could do the same thing with Smash Brothers. They could do a bi-monthly tournament or like a quarterly tournament or like a tournament every 6 months or something. If they really wanted to for Smash Brothers, they could do that. But if I'm not mistaken, Sakurai did say from the jump that Smash was never meant to be a competitive fighting game.
I mean, he could say that, but a lot of people, I mean, look, now obviously I'm going to be real. I think he probably did go into that game with the mentality of, hey, I just want to make a fun game for everybody. And that's true. I think everybody goes into it. It's just, as with anything, things start taking a different turn where it turns into a competitive thing,
Yeah,
like that's just it happens and stuff. So it's like, I understand where he's coming from, but it's like, dude, you just got to embrace it. You got to embrace it, because that's why that's why I never understood people. They get mad when the game comes out and a character is broken. I'm like, but dude, like, look who's making the game. Like, I don't think they purposely wanted. Well, who was a broken? Wasn't Sonic broken at one point in the game?
God. Okay, Brawl in Smash Brawl, there was 2 broken characters, Sonic and Snake.
Yeah, and I think when they went into it, I don't think they purposely went into it like we're gonna make Snake broken to fuck up the competitive nature of the game. They just did it because it's a fun game. So of course you're gonna,
like so with Snake they gave him well, God, this is actually both characters. Both characters had probably the most broken final smashes in the game.
Dude, Sonic went supersonic. It was like game
Sonic
over.
goes supersonic, and anytime all he has to do is touch you, and it's instant game
Snake
over.
didn't he had like the Nikita launcher shit that
no
shit?
What no he didn't have, he had the Nikita launcher. That was his regular forward smash. No,
okay.
What he had, his final smash was he would be hanging from a chopper and shooting that freaking grenade launcher, which instantly kills you if it touches you.
So I think these developers, like I said with Smash, it took a leap on its own, and it is what it is. Like for me, I'm appreciative of Evo being in the position that it's in to be like the big thing. It was, like I said, whatever you feel about Street Fighter 5 is whatever, but seeing it to turn on ESPN on a big screen HD 4K TV and see it played on ESPN in the top 8, it's beautiful. It's nice. It's great to see.
I mean, think about this, CJ. How, we lived in a world at the time.
We live in a society, sir.
No. Just follow me on this. We lived in a world.
Okay.
God damn it, COVID. We lived in a world where we could go to a Buffalo Wild Wings, a Hooters, Dave and Buster's, and if it happens to be Evo weekend, we could be like, yo, look on, go to ESPN. At those establishments, get you some wings, sit back and watch some Street Fighter.
I mean, granted, I question why you would go to loud ass Dave and Buster's for some fucking watch Evo. That's all I'm saying. Like I go to look, it's too many goddamn kids around there more than Chuck E. Cheese for me to enjoy Dave and Buster's. So I'll take my ass to Buffalo Wild Wings and Hooters.
Look, man, I'm just throwing
out the nose too. I know you were just throwing out there.
I'm
just saying, it's like I ain't taking my black ass to look. I love Dave and Buster's, but look, ever since round 1 became a thing now, finally, I'm like, yo, fuck Dave and Buster's, kiss my ass.
Shit, I said Dave. I said that about Dave and Buster's like years ago. Like
I might check out round 1 at some point. I know we're COVID protocols aside. I might see a round 1 to see what's popping in Virginia on round 1. I don't know. We'll see. But
I've been to that round 1. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, so I might check it out. But like, it's one of those things where I kind of mad that like I said, once this whole shit with COVID comes up, I might go to an Evo just to say, hey, I was in Mandalay Bay, because like I've been to Mandalay Bay one time, non-Evo, and it's huge. So I gotta imagine you're in there watching Evo finals in that big ass Mandalay Bay, the big screens and everything and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, think about it. Like, I love the Geese Howard trailer for Tekken 7. Can you imagine you're at Mandalay Bay and you see that shit just blow up on the fucking screen?
First of all, it's like that giant. It's not a Titantron, but it's like that giant freaking cube with like 4 screens.
Well, I mean, it's like the picture I got in the background here.
That thing basically.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like you put 4 Titantrons together back to back, and everybody is seeing the Geese trailer, the Trunks trailer from Fighters, and oh man, just to be in that room, just to be in the Mandalay Bay and seeing that for the first time I would have lost my mind if I'd seen that, because I remember when I called it that Geese was going to be in Tekken.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the thing. I think everybody should at least experience Evo one time in their life. I mean, like I said, I've been to Evo twice. I've been when it was OG, when they had Evo East, West, North, South, Midwest, and shit.
Yep.
And I've been to it again recently in 2014. So it's like to see it come up from there, and then boom, now they're at Mandalay Bay. It's crazy.
You know what really sucks is last year I had already. Well, I didn't like fully book it, but I was already looking into like rooms and stuff to stay, because I had planned to go to Vegas that year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I'll go to Vegas during Evo. Like, I'm just gonna take like a whole week off from work and just go out to Vegas and just see what it's like. Because I'm still trying to move out there, and and I was about to buy a plane ticket and everything. I was looking at prices of like rooms and stuff, and I was looking at the prices of staying like at the Mandalay.
Yeah.
And right when I was about to do it, COVID hit.
Yeah, I think that fucked up everybody, because you think about the fact that if you were planning that shit out January 2020, You were like, all right, I got some plans. We're going to do this. And then February 2020, you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, you heard about COVID. It was background noise, but you didn't think much of it and stuff. And then March hits and it was like, yeah, fuck you and your travels. You ain't going nowhere. And it's like, oh,
man, I swear it was the moment. It was the moment Katsucon was done. Like,
yeah, it was right after Katsucon.
Right after Katsucon
was mid-February, right?
Mid-February. In fact, it was the week of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so it was after Valentine's Day. That's when we heard about like COVID being the big thing, but they didn't shut down anything. It was just we heard rumors. It was like hearing the rumors about something, but you weren't for sure. And then all of a sudden, like that last week of February, I remember distinctly because my job immediately told me that last week of February, hey, so you're gonna be working from home the next following Monday. So be sure Friday you get all your stuff from your desk because you ain't coming back here. I was like, okay.
Yep.
It was a wrap at that point. It was like, it's a fit. They really serious. Okay.
And then March came and that official state of emergency hit the U.S. and it was a wrap.
Well, we half-assed it because some states were stubborn as fuck and didn't want to shut down. So,
hi Florida,
hi Texas. I'm like the two stubborn asshole fucking states. I was like, no, fuck COVID. We're gonna stay open. I'm like, but dude, COVID, what are you doing? No.
Yeah, and by their defense, they've had much less. They've had the lowest number of cases and deaths compared to California, which had been in lockdown for literally a whole year.
And then now Texas and Florida had like the highest recently.
Supposedly, but of course, they're going to justify it. They're going to justify it, say, oh, we had the highest, but that only came from the out-of-towners who came into South Beach and shit for spring break. I'm like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, the whole saga with Evo is it's going to be interesting, so to speak, how that goes. But meanwhile, since then, there was a kind of a summit that Japan does with all the fighting game developers and stuff from Namco to Capcom to Arc Systems and stuff. About
it was pretty much everybody.
Yeah, pretty much everybody, and they do these things once a year, where it's kind of like all of them talking about their quality of life updates for the games. And one of them, Tekken, they brought out what they're doing and got a trailer.
No, we didn't get a trailer. We got a half a second teaser.
Yeah, we got a half a second teaser of somebody that looked like the prime minister
of the prime minister of Poland.
Prime minister of Poland.
But aside, before we even go into all of that, I want to bring up something, the super elephant in the room, which I think is probably the biggest wasted opportunity that they did not tackle.
Which is
nobody in that whole room, all these fighting game developers, not a single person brought up netcode.
Yeah, a lot of them were still kind of talking about rollback and stuff, but they weren't bringing up anything crazy new. It was kind of like,
especially with Capcom. I'm like, okay, we got Capcom here, we got Namco here, we got Arc Systems, we got all these people here that make fighting games, and they know we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is the whole reason why they're doing this freaking roundtable event in the first place via Zoom. And no one is going to talk about the netcode. No one's going to talk about how shitty the online is. Going back to Evo. Think about how they just made that big announcement that, we're going to have Evo this year and it's going to be online. You already have a number of people that immediately were turned off because who the fuck wants to play Street Fighter V online?
Well, actually, also, too, I got to be honest with you, going with that Nintendo news, Nintendo also didn't want to be part of Evo Online because even Nintendo knows their online is not
online is garbage.
It's not good. I'd rather play Street Fighter. I'd rather play Street Fighter 5's online than play Smash's online, to be honest. That's
to quote my man Keith, Mighty Keith from Keith Crew. That netcode belongs in the Stone Age, good buddy.
At least Street Fighter 5 at least does something. That shit in Smash is like, what the fuck?
No. Street Fighter 5's netcode did do something when it took one person with one weekend to improve it. It was that one person. It was that one person with a weekend to improve it, and Capcom said, "Yeah, one patch later, gone back to the garbage netcode we've been stuck with."
But again, I still rather play it more than Smashes, but that's not saying much. So whatever. I think it's just one of those things where they got to go back to the whole thing of if you're going to do online, you have to, number one, I'm sorry, if you're still playing Wi-Fi on fighting games, why? But I mean, I'm not saying everybody got to have, this shit hardline, but unless your Wi-Fi is high-end Wi-Fi,
it's highly recommended to use a wired connection.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's with anything. That's really with anything.
No, but I mean, you can do if you actually pay top dollar for your internet, your Wi-Fi is you can actually make your Wi-Fi pretty good. You can
make your Wi-Fi good, but it'll never be as consistent as wired.
Yeah, but like you need to hardwire your shit in. Period. Point blank. Whatever you're playing, that's number one. But it is kind of interesting how it's one of those things that some stuff like Arc Systems, their games are better online than Street Fighter V.
Way better.
Tekken's, they've done a good job. At least Bandai Namco, they've done a pretty good job in terms of like matchmaking and all that stuff. Now they can obviously improve it, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
They try to at least match you up with like, especially with matchmaking, they try to match you up with somebody that's close to your skill level or whatever and stuff. And varying degrees of success on that one. So whatever and stuff. But like it's one of those things that you're right. They need to like further talk about it and stuff. And maybe it does come down to your internet provider because, we're seeing now in the US, especially a lot of internet providers are being dicks in terms of charging you for better internet.
I'm trying to think, given my experience in Japan, I had 3 different internet service providers, but like the main line of internet was Docomo. And
okay.
Docomo is pretty much regulated by the government. That's why the Japanese have like the quote unquote best internet in the world.
We could have that here, Google Fiber would have been nice.
We could have, whether it's Google Fiber or Verizon. The problem with it is they're all private / publicly traded companies.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, granted, I will give at least this current presidency a little bit of credit because they're trying to pass a bill to finally give access to internet to people, like start building up like spots in like smaller towns and stuff. So
they need to do that
because I swear to God, I did not know there's still a lot of small towns still rocking 56K. They haven't been brought up to broadband status yet. And I was like, holy shit, are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, not even a DSL modem exists over there.
Thank you. That's the crazy part. I'm like, bro, how do you not like, you still live in the 1990s, man? You got an AOL CD? Like, what are we doing?
They still rocking the Windows XP computers.
I could never go back to fucking 56K. I'll be sitting up there wanting to punch a TV if I had to go back to fucking 56K. I get mad when my phone goes to 3G.
Oh, bro, you ain't the only one.
And I'm not even an impatient person. It's just like, what is going on? Why is it taking so long?
I get mad. Like, I get mad when my phone, I swear, when my phone drops from LTE into like 3G, like 3GS or something. I'm like, what is this?
What is this and stuff? But I would say this, I think before we go into that, so KOF 15 is looking pretty good.
KOF 15, from my understanding, at least from what I've been seeing with it, KOF 15 is gonna be like probably a slightly. What's that?
No, I said, "What's up, Malcolm?"
Oh, sorry. No, KOF 15 is gonna be like a slightly faster version of Samurai Showdown.
And the visual looks better than 14. And I got 14.
Well, that's what happens when you actually throw money at a game.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, I played through 14. It's fine for what it is, but like. Yeah, it was looking mad inferior to a lot of stuff, despite the gameplay stuff.
Bro, remember the very first trailer we saw of Kyo? That looked like a straight up PS2 game.
Man, but yeah, but with KOF 15, they're starting to show a lot of the characters. They pretty much got the whole Fatal Fury team on deck with Andy, Joe, and Terry.
Yeah, which I thought that was nice because they actually shot the trailer in the style of the original Fatal Fury game, like where you see like all 3 of their portraits come together. I was like, oh, that was nice.
The team of Kyo, Chizuru, and Iori. That one and stuff, which I was like, oh, you going back old school now. All right,
yeah, like cool. Team KOF 97. We're bringing that back.
Some of the newer characters, they got actually those characters were the ones that got trailers first, some of the newer ones and stuff, which they look interesting enough. But yeah, like I said, so far it's looking pretty good.
As far as I'm concerned, give me my dream. Like, please give me my other 97 team back. And that is Blue Mary, Billy Kane, and my boy, my day unos, Ryuji Yamazaki.
Yeah, as long as there's been a recent uptick of okay, so here's the funny part. So recently some of the top players have been doing videos of KOF 13's trials, which I can tell you wholeheartedly, my black ass wasn't doing that shit. I did the first 3 of Kios, and I was like, all right, not bad. You get to the 4th one, I was like, I'm not doing this bullshit. Fuck you, kiss my ass. No,
KOF 13 trials are oh my god, they are the bane of everybody's
now I want people to understand, when you look at the combos and you see like Justin Wong actually did all of them, the funny thing is
he struggled.
He got through them, but the funny thing is I didn't know some of them were shorter than others. Like Maxima's, he got through quick and is short as hell. And I was like, oh, I thought all of them were like 10 trials a piece and stuff, but some of them were shorter than others. But what the big running theme for the KOF 13 trials, when you really notice it, I think you pointed out, all of them are effectively, once you get past the first 3 trials, which are the basic combos, everything else is touch of death combos.
It is.
Which, if you think back to the KOF 13 when it was at the Evo tournaments and all the other tournaments and stuff, if you paid attention to how it was played, it's like, oh, that's why everybody was kind of doing, like, I'm not gonna say touch of death combos, but touch of death combos and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's what they're emphasizing in the game. No fucking wonder.
Yep, they would do, like, from what I've seen in tournaments, a lot of people were doing not necessarily the full trial mode version of touch of death combos. They were doing like more streamlined, more, like the abridged / more optimized version of touch of death combos. Either way, they did shit. You've seen them do a combo, it leads into a juggle, goes into HD mode, and I'm like, oh, it's a wrap. HD mode, they can just build up, like just juggle, build up more bar, build up meter. Oh, they got level 5, boom, max, like hit the freaking level, was it level 3 super? It's a that bar's done.
That game turned me off of even wanting to touch Clark and Ralph and all the grapplers, and then I turned around and play KOF 13. Oh man, I love Clark. He's so great in this game because now you don't have to worry about fucking 1 frame links anymore. It's like, okay, they made it a little bit easier now. All right, cool. I'm fine with this, man. Because, dear God, man. And again, I love 13, but it was like I was literally casual as fuck in that game. I was like, nope.
Yeah, I've always said that KOF 13 was the divide of the fan base. That game divided a fan base of people who still prefer 97, 98, 2002. You know, those games will forever be the GOAT to that set of people. And then you got the people who play 12, 13, and 14. You got these guys who love this version of KOF. You know, which kind of goes back into the people who prefer Garo Mark of the Wolves versus Real Bow Fatal Fury.
I mean, Garo Mark of the Wolves, we knew that was basically SNK's third strike. So.
Yeah, it was SNK's third strike. Sorry, SNK's new generation.
Yeah, new generation. But their slash
because they only made just one version of that game, and I and I'm actually kind of sad they never took the time. You know, nobody went in and said, "Hey, let's make a sequel let's make Garo 2."
Yeah, but
they never did that.
The same principles is there. It was a groundbreaking game visually and stuff. It did something crazy with the Cave Groove system and stuff.
Yep. You know, it took place in the future.
It took place in the future, so it was all these groundbreaking stuff, much like Street Fighter 3 was and stuff. And then I think right after they did Garo Mark of the Wolves, that's when they started focusing on mainline KOF with the Nest Saga, past the Nest Saga and all that stuff, and it just
Also, this it was like probably a year or so before the company officially went bankrupt.
Yeah, so like I said, 15 is looking great. I'm pretty sure that's going to kind of get everybody back on fold and stuff. I mean, look, Samurai Showdown being as good as it is, I think that kind of made people peak their ears like, oh, SNK is still in business, and Samurai Showdown is really fucking good.
Dude, SNK had been in business the moment they got purchased or picked up by their outside investors.
Playmore.
Well, no, Playmore's done. They're gone.
Well, not Playmore. I don't know why I keep thinking
like SNK is now officially SNK again. Like they actually got their original name back.
The future is now.
and the moment that happened, they said the very first thing they were going to do was focus on games. They put out games. They started loaning out their characters to make guest appearances and other another fighting.
Terry's in Fighting Impact. Was it?
Fighting Layer.
Fighting EX Layer and stuff. Mai popped up in DOA 6.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5.
Mai popped up in DOA 5.
Yeah.
And Kula was in DOA 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Kula, and Mai were in DOA 5.
Kula and Mai were in DOA 5. I think Mai's in DOA 6. I have not played DOA 6.
Somebody from a fighting game is in DOA 6. I know that for a fact because they made a big deal about it and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. She's in 6.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, once you option Terry and Smash.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Terry's also Terry's in Smash, and both, and we got, even though it's kind of even though it's still an SNK game, but we got Girl Geese, and it's a mobile game that came out where they got this Geese and Tekken, of course, but we pretty much got female Geese Howard, and all it is just gender swap Geese Howard in in this game. It was a mobile game in Japan. That there was that thing, and then let's also not forget the King of Fighters All-Star game on mobile devices, and they had a crossover with the Tekken franchise.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's all those things that kind of keeps the public eye on SNK and stuff. So I'm curious to see how huge the game is going to be. But back to Tekken though, we got a trailer for Lydia, which I guess we can share real quick.
Let's go ahead and show it
as well. Bam. I think she is the first full-blown karate-esque killer. see Malcolm ain't shit. He said Leroy version 2. I don't know, man.
No, he's not lying. But I'll let you check out the trailer because you haven't seen it.
Dragunov. Fucking Ip Man over here.
Bro, the whole time I was watching this, I was like, all right, this is cool. This is nice. Can I see gameplay, please? I was like, just give me gameplay. I need gameplay. I was like, she already dropped 2 characters I liked. Brian and Dragunov. New stage confirmed.
Exactly.
And we got a remix. We got a remix of the freaking
I forgot Paul is karate too.
Yeah. This is a remix of the Penguin stage from Tekken 5.
Yeah.
Of course. See, look at this.
Yeah, very Hitomi-like. Sheesh. They really did go, what if Hitomi was in Tekken?
They did.
I'm not mad at it. It's like, fuck it, why not?
It makes sense. I mean, Hitomi is actually German in DOA, and with her being from Poland.
Oh, shit.
Look at this. And we got another remix song.
Did he release a soundtrack for this?
Dude, they had 2 soundtracks. Bro, check it out. It's the beach stage from Tekken 4.
Mm-hmm. But in 4K HD.
Right?
I'm just saying, give me the airport stage from Tekken 4.
Yeah, with the breakable wing.
I give him props for the originality. I would give him that.
So this is the second to last announcement for season 4.
Which, do you feel that this is going to be a situation where they're going to either move on to, well, they pretty much already just said they're not doing Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right? They're done with that shit, right?
Well,
Tekken Cross Street Fighter, I guess.
They didn't want to do Tekken Cross Street Fighter the same time as Tekken 7.
So it's not off the table. It's just kind of just sitting there in development hell.
I don't see it being off the table, but Harada did say, he didn't want to put out that game the same time as Tekken 7 and cannibalize the audience. Like, he wanted to keep people focused on one game. But I do, I am agreeing with a lot of people. It is kind of time for a new Tekken. I mean, Tekken 7 has been out since This Tekken 7 has been around since late 2017 when they first announced it.
I gotta be honest with you. I think probably the best thing about this is that this is a smart way to kind of extend longevity, though, in the grand scheme. It's a way. That's why I think this is going to probably the last year for Tekken 7 before next year. It's like, all right.
They got one more. They have one more trailer to drop, which I got a feeling we might see something. No, sorry. I don't think they're gonna drop anything for for Evo. I really don't think they're gonna have any news. They might tease something. They might tease something at Evo. They might not. And of course, you got the King of Iron Fist tournament if they're gonna do that online. Mm-hmm. With the King of Iron Fist tournament, they can definitely announce something, and that will be like their thank you for all the years of Tekken 7. We're glad you enjoyed it. Here's one more thing, and it's going to be a stage. It's going to be a new character. Now the question is, are we going to get a new character, or are we going to get a returning legacy character? Or could Namco drop a bomb on us and drop two characters, for the final? We get one brand new character and one legacy character returning.
It could happen and stuff. So
I personally would like to go for the latter. I hope they drop two characters and one or two stages. For the love of God, Bruce is not coming back.
I mean, knowing Namco, we know that they like working on.
He's not coming.
I mean, we know with Namco, they always are working on something in the background, but just don't have nothing until they actually have something in place. Because it's kind of like when Capcom and Namco first revealed Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I didn't know that was happening until they threw us on the desk with that whole concept gameplay video of it and stuff. And I was like, oh shit. Didn't see that coming.
We just see, I think, what was it? We saw Ryu, and I'll never forget that trailer. We saw Ryu, and then we saw Kazuya, and everybody was like, holy shit, Kazuya's in Street Fighter 4? No, it's a whole ass game. Kazuya and freaking Nina, and then Ryu and Chun-Li, and then you see the two of them fighting each other. They tagging in and out. It was a great concept. And the game itself, I think,
if the gym system wasn't as controversial, it probably would have been fine.
If the gym system wasn't a thing, if it didn't exist, people would still be playing this game.
Yeah, I think the problem is that they had an idea with the gym system, but they didn't really need it.
They really didn't need it, and it just didn't work. It really didn't work. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, because as it stood, it was nice to see the Tekken characters in a Street Fighter environment, and it played like a better version of Street Fighter 4 at that time. So it was like, oh shit, this is great. But like I said, the gym system just didn't make any sense to do it because it just turned into, I got better gyms than you, and it's like.
And then you tried to throw in a Street Fighter version of Tekken's juggle system, which really didn't work that well.
I would have took that
without the gyms. I would have taken it without the gyms if they had just refined it.
That's what I'm saying.
If they spent more time refining the juggle system in Street Fighter versus, you're taking a system from a 3D fighting game and you're putting it in a 2D fighting game. That's a doozy right there. You would have had some work, but where I was going was people think that we're going to immediately go from Tekken 7 into Tekken 8 because, the rule of thumb is for every dream match Tekken, there has to be a two game iteration. So you had
Tag to Tekken 7. So,
well, no, we had
Tekken Tag 2. I mean, Tekken Tag 2.
No, we had if I remember, there was Tekken 1, Tekken 1, 2, 3, tag, and then 4, 5,
6, and then tag 2.
Tag 2 tag 2. Yeah, 6 came out in 2009. So yeah, 4, 5, 6, tag 2, and then 7. So
yeah, 8.
So people are saying we're gonna get tag 3. No, we're not getting tag 3.
I will probably see it'll probably end up being Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
I think we have a higher chance of seeing Tekken 8 or Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Cause I think honestly, with them rolling out, because I knew immediately that they might be low key working on it when they reveal. Because it's one thing to have Akuma in your game, right? And
Yeah.
Akuma actually plays really well in the Tekken environment and stuff, right? It's another when you introduce
Fakaram.
Fakaram, and then who looks like Sagat, and then you release Geese Howard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like clearly it seems like that's what you're leaning towards. So I'm like, that makes sense. So, hold up, am I echoing? Sorry.
Nah, not on my end.
That's weird. But anyways, so on that end, we got Street Fighter V Champion Edition, and Dan got released, and that character is ridiculous.
I told y'all he was gonna be fun.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun so
like
far. Somebody found
he's a
something broken in
fun.
it.
He's a fun character. I mean, we got Dan, we got Rose, we have Oro, and we got the character I'm really waiting for, and that's Akira from Rival Schools. I'm really curious to know who the fifth character is going to be. Like, who's going to be the fifth and final character for Street Fighter V?
Yeah. Oh, side note. Also, Namco basically told folks that hey, if they catch anybody playing the new character through illegitimate means, they're going to be banned.
Like, you can't wait 2 days?
Thank you. I'm just like, no, like y'all chill. Like it ain't even that. Like I understand, but Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, we're not at a tournament where where we'll get Harada and Michael Murray to come out and be like, when can we play this character? Now.
Yeah, But anyways, Dan is actually pretty good in the game, and I'm like, oh shit, like all right, cool, that's what's up. I think it was a desk actually they found like an infinite combo for Dan.
Yeah,
apparently
he has an infinite combo,
which I was like, that's funny and stuff, how they doing that. So you were right. I mean, I never doubted that they weren't going to make Dan fun. It like he was always going to be destined to be a fun character anyway. So,
but he's not like a complete joke of a character. Like he's legit fun. And again, I'm excited to see what Capcom does, because if they keep doing all this right stuff, because not only we don't just have new characters brought back into the game, we got a whole new system now. We got V Shift, which is kind of like not even a roll cancel. It's like a parry without the guesswork.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that and stuff. I think. I like I said, I would give Capcom all the credit in the world for how far this game has come in terms of changes and stuff. I'm kind of curious, how does this play into whatever iteration of Street Fighter they do after this, and whether they're actually going to learn the lessons of this. Crossing fingers, hope they do.
I see them doing this like
another year.
They pretty much gave themselves another year with this game, because I think certain characters they were talking.
It's supposed to have been done after what the fuck is that character? Gil. That was supposed to be it.
It was supposed to be it, which is why I'm assuming the characters that are coming into this batch of Street Fighter V are characters that would more than likely have been in Street Fighter 6. But that's just me. That's just me being the conspiracy theorist right now. I'm like, are they giving it? Like, no, I'm really thinking like, are these characters? These aren't just random characters they just pulled out of a freaking hat and just decided to drop in a Street Fighter 5. Like, I really believe that these were characters that they intended to put in the next Street Fighter game, but because of COVID, they gave themselves another season. Like season 5 was never really meant to be. Like, they never intended to make a 5th season. Yeah. Like, season 6 was supposed to be it, because remember, we got Kage, and after Kage's broken ass showed up, and then he got patched out a little bit later, but he's still fun to play with. He shows up, and then Gil was supposed to be it, like you said. Now that Gil's here, it wasn't just Gil. We got Gil and Seth. Yeah,
so it's like, the thing of it is, well, female Seth, but yeah, Seth nonetheless. But going back to what you
non-binary Seth.
Yeah, non-binary. No, I ain't going to get into that. But anyways, no, but for going back to what going something real quick, something back when you were talking about Smash, Pyro and Mithra were new characters that got announced after the Sephiroth reveal, because that was the last time we talked, was when Sephiroth had dropped it. We showed the trailer. So Pyro and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 dropped for it and stuff, which I'm like, oh, that's a bigger change of place than the usual Fire Emblem characters. Cool.
Yeah, they went with they finally added another Xenoblade character, which I thought was interesting. I thought we were gonna get Rex, like seeing how they showed him, but then the moment he shows up and he says, I've been looking for Pyra, and I'm like, she's in Smash. Pyra's in Smash. Pyra's in freaking Smash. And then I'm scratching my head going, wait a minute. Pyra looks a certain way. And which had me kind of eyeballing Sakurai, like, so Sakurai, Smash Brothers is supposed to be for good boys and girls. Why is she here?
Thank you. And I mean, my thing is,
and then you bring on. Hold on, sorry. I'm sorry. Then you
no.
on,
I had nothing. I was just like,
and then you had nerve to give us Echo Fighter version of her, which is Mithra, who, if you play the game, she's really about that life, if you know what I mean. It's heavily implied throughout the game, but it's like, just saying.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm just saying, my Shiranui couldn't. You really had to say no. You said no. Better yet, Sakurai, you said no to my Shiranui just so you could say yes to Pyro and Mithra. I see what you're doing.
Speaking of broken, Arc Systems. What were you thinking with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta?
Oh yeah. Let's jump into Arc Systems. Yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to say about Smash. She's definitely fun character to play with. I had a chance to mess around with her. But going into Arc Systems. So, Arc Systems.
Gogeta.
Arc Systems. You really couldn't give us Mercenary Tau, could you?
They really weren't trying to, and it's like, I get you. So here's the thing about Gogeta.
You want to give us another fusion character. We're getting another Goku and Vegeta. We're getting another fusion character. Again, I like the fusion characters. Vegito was cool. Gogeta, freaking Dragon Ball Super Gogeta is also cool. But now you're giving us Dragon Ball GT Gogeta. Forcing us to acknowledge that GT is a thing. Better yet, you're making us understand that this was probably the best thing to come out of GT besides Super 17.
But you give us a character that can do one-hit KOs,
mm-hmm.
has double air dashes,
mm-hmm.
level up taunts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? But then also he can summon Dragon Balls really easy just by doing the light auto combos.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what?
And the funny thing about it? Funny thing about what is it, Super Gogeta 4 is Super Gogeta 4 gameplay wise is what would happen if you took Ultra Instinct Goku and said, make him fuse with Vegeta.
I mean, Ultra Instinct Goku is already ridiculous. Now you give us this.
Ultra Instinct Goku is stupid. Dragon Ball Super Gogeta is stupid. There's quite a bit of characters that are just really stupid. And I don't mean stupid as in they're bad characters. I mean just, holy crap, you can do almost anything with these guys.
Silly decisions that's like, why?
I'm still holding on to hope that we do get Mercenary Tau. I mean, can we please get him?
I've been asking that since when they added Roshi. I was like, there's no excuse at this point.
Dude, I've been asking for Mercenary Tau since season 1.
I'm not even saying Roshi was a bad character, but I was like, oh, you put Roshi in there? But we
you put Roshi. Like, come on. Like, to tell you the truth, I feel like there should have been more Dragon Ball characters put into this game rather than characters from.
I can only think of in terms of if they're gonna do that, it would really only have to be Mercenary Tau from like a moveset comparison.
Like, just give us Mercenary Tau. You can come up with some interesting stuff.
I mean, maybe you could probably get King Piccolo, but you would have to like make it to where he has tambourine and drum as like his assist, kind of like Captain Ginyu to a degree. I'm not saying there's some things, and King Piccolo would have actually played a little bit differently from Piccolo too. So there's that.
Tell you the truth, I would have accepted BoJack.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, but it's just for some reason, it's just kind of weird how, I don't know. It's just like I said, I will never understand. I will never understand that. And here's the kicker too. I laugh at the fact that Namco decided also in the same breath with all the additions with if we're actually keeping with anime, I like how Bandai was like, hey, people still play Jump Force. We got Giorno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the game. I'm like, nobody's playing Jump Force though.
No one's playing that
the game is garbage.
I gotta agree with it.
Staff Sergeant Black Dog.
I was gonna no. I agree. I agree with your boy Macho here. That'd be hilarious. Put Commander Black in the game.
He's just gonna be the fucking black DJ of the game doing capoeira the whole time.
You really think he's gonna be like Bob Wilson?
I mean,
first of all, for him to be like Bob Wilson, he can't be bald. You know what I'm saying? He's already bald, so you would have to give him dreads.
Hey, I would say this though. Samurai Showdown giving us Hibiki in the game, I was like, holy shit, that's dope.
That was a good one.
She fits that. She actually fits the game, given that both games, Samurai Showdown and like Last Blade, kind of sort of take place in the same era.
They take place in the same era, but they're two completely different games. I mean, Last Blade is like Samurai Showdown with custom combos, and it was just I would say a slightly lesser known fighter in terms of SNK weapon based games.
Yeah. So, I mean, also Chan Cham, who I actually like that character a lot.
Yeah, SNK's been killing it so far with these announcements. I mean, they announced her, they announced Iroha a while back. I think if there's anybody who I want to be announced would be what's his name? Is he in the game? He's from Samurai Showdown 5. Dude with the red hair. He's got the red hair. He's got like 5 freaking swords, including one that's like a super long Masamune sword. I think it's a Yoshi. I think it was a Yoshi.
I think so. Yoshi. I don't think he is, but I heard
Yoshitaka. I'm gonna look it up.
He might be in it. He might. Not for sure yet on that.
Samurai Showdown 5 gave us he's on the freaking front cover of that game too. Yeah. Freaking Yoshitora, like Yoshitora Tokugawa. That guy.
Yeah, I mean it's and Guilty Gear Strive. So is it out fully yet, or is it still in beta?
Still in beta. It was in super beta.
Okay, all right. Cause I saw Mike Ross playing it on stream, and I was like, is this game out?
Nope. They just gave everybody a beta to play, and
it looks good.
You want to know the best thing about that beta? I got a chance to mess around it for a bit. The net code. This was right around the time.
Oh yeah, they went to rollback, didn't they?
They went to rollback, but it wasn't just them going to rollback, dude. It was the fact that the net code was so good, and this was around the time of that round table.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I forgot. Yeah, you're right, because I forgot when that was the big point of contention, at least that weekend online, was like nobody's talking about it, and yet Strive is out here blowing it up with their online being so good as it was. So yeah, that was the big story. Yeah.
And and that was the other thing that sucks, is that it got pushed back. Game got pushed back.
I mean, it's for the best. I mean, hey, make sure that your shit is actually good at the very least. So,
I feel like if there's a character that needs to show up, since we got Shiki coming, they can give us one more character from Last Blade. If there's anybody I want from Last Blade, is what's his name? Setsuka.
I mean, obviously you want to put your big names from Last Blade in the game. So they said it was a Guilty Gear character that's supposed to be in Samurai Showdown, which if I was me, is probably Biken. And Biken would fit. Biken would fit just because of the motif, but knowing them, they might do something crazy like Soul Bad Guy, and I'm like, why? I get it, but why?
Like, I feel like let's see, because I'm trying to think of like all the other characters. Sorry, I meant Setsuna. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, Setsuna.
Like Setsuna was one character I would like to see put in as another guest character, but then that'd be another guest character from the same game series. So them going with Hibiki was definitely the smarter move. I'm cool with that.
Man. So past this, we're hitting up the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil.
Yes, we are.
So do you expect any sort of big news from Capcom other than obviously the Resident Evil 8 Village shit that they're probably gonna push. But do you see them announcing like anything regarding like Code of Veronica or Resident Evil 4 remake kind of thing? Or is your expectations low?
There's a higher chance of us seeing like probably a teaser trailer or a full on trailer of Resident Evil 4 remake before Code Veronica.
Okay, because I was expecting them to do the usual 8 because that's obviously the big game and it's looking pretty good. I expect them to push
we're gonna get. I mean, they're gonna drop that trailer too because they can always split the team up and have one team working on one Resident Evil game while the other team is working on the big sequel of RE8 because it's two different types of games.
Okay, yeah, that is true. I mean, to be honest, I felt Code Veronica is the one that really needed the.
Code Veronica needs a
huge
remake.
Quality of life.
It needs a remake, like it's going out of style. And my only wish, I only have one wish and one request for Capcom is please do not make the same mistake you made with Resident Evil 3. Don't just rush out I'm gonna call it shitty, for lack of a better term. Don't give us a shitty, quick job of, okay, here's Resident Evil 3 here's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. You know damn well that there was more thought put into the original Nemesis game compared to this remake.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel that they put too much emphasis. They put too much emphasis and resources on that multiplayer aspect than the others. I think we said as much.
We said this before. They put way too much stock in the multiplayer, which nobody plays.
I mean, it did. It was just kind of like it was one of those situations where people played it, but it was just like begrudgingly, like I guess I gotta play it. Like,
me personally, I found no joy in
playing. I never touched it. I never touched it at all. I was like, I ain't fucking playing that bullshit.
The only thing that made me mad about it was all the freaking Darkstalkers Easter eggs they threw in there.
Capcom don't care about Darkstalkers. And as much as people want to admit, the general public don't care about Darkstalkers.
No, there is a nice subset of people out there.
It's a subset, but it ain't as huge as say Street Fighter and stuff like it should be.
But look, man, just because a game is not big and blown out and popular like other games doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve the love. I still believe that if Capcom wanted to, they could put out a Darkstalkers game, push the hell out of it, and you'll get people playing it.
You'll probably get more of a Rival Schools game based off of how people take to Akira versus you getting the Darkstalkers.
Well, that's just because all they had to do was throw out a character. They just threw out just one character from Rival Schools, and everybody lost their damn mind. Because yes, while there are people, the same people that are asking for Rival Schools are the same people that are asking for Darkstalkers. And all Capcom did was just pay attention and said, "Oh, well, let's just pick one character from one of these games, throw them in a Street Fighter game, and let's see how people react."
I mean, at least it's better than picking Daigo, the same character that's been in every fucking game in some way. So that's like Daigo, Kyosuke, and now Akira that's been in.
No, Daigo's never been in. No, Daigo's never been in. No,
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
He wasn't in that game. That was Batsu.
Batsu, my bad. I keep getting the most of Batsu.
And Batsu was only in that one game outside of his.
Well, that's the thing. Kyosuke was in CVS 2.
Yeah.
Batsu was in Capcom versus Tatsunoko. And then now you got Akira in Street Fighter 5.
Before that, Hinata being a non-playable.
No, I don't count that. I'm talking like actual player because you might as well count Batsu in Street Fighter in CVS 2 with that team with Kyosuke. I don't count it. I'm talking I can play them.
I'm just counting their appearances. I mean, look, we've had more Rival School characters appear in fighting games versus, let's say, Power Stone characters.
Now, if she was Miharu, like in Tekken, where I could play her, all right, cool, fine. But that's not the case. It's just.
But no, with I'm just I'm sorry, I'm still sticking to to my convictions of. Like the same people that are asking for for this game and this game, all Capcom has to do is just take a character. Just take one character from Darkstalkers, not Morgan, and put them in, put them in a fighting game.
It's going to be Morgan because she's the face of that. Next to fucking was it old cat girl?
Felicia, but no, not really, because they could have easily went with either Dimitri or Donovan.
I mean, we got Jedi and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I was like, that's an out there idea. All right, cool. But they'll go Morgan because it's the simple, low-hanging fruit one.
See, but I think that's a character they need to retire from that trope of just dropping them in. I mean, yeah, she's a fan favorite. People like her, and that's cool. But no, I feel like it's time you gave a character his due. You know, you gave us Jeddah, and that was a nice step in the, a good step in the right direction. But if you give us Dimitri or Donovan, that would have been a real nice setup. I mean, especially Donovan, because Donovan's he's a pretty interesting character.
Yeah.
With with talks of Akira being in Street Fighter, and again, I still believe that if Capcom just sits back and waits to see fans' reactions of her play style, how she plays, you can pretty much guarantee that if Akira wins Evo, let's say Akira wins Evo 2022
online,
whether online or 2022, she wins Evo. I would say we're about 50% chances of us getting a brand new Rival Schools.
We'll see.
See, because the problem with Rival Schools is that it's not the gameplay. It's none of that. It's just the most Japanese Capcom fighting game in existence.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can do stuff with Darkstalkers, so I see why people want that game. But it's like Rival Schools, like you said, it has a lot of Japanese sensibilities to it, even though it has that subset of fans.
Yeah, so it has its fans. It's just the game is just super Japanese. It's like something out of like a shonen series or Sentai series. Minus the transformation of superhero characters, but it's just the way they go about it. It sounds like it comes out of that type of storyline. Mm-hmm. Why I believe that fans deserve a new Darkstalkers is case in point. Look at Killer Instinct and look at a character. Just look at a character like Saberwolf.
Yeah,
dude, you get a character like that, Saberwolf, and just slap John Talbane on him. You got yourself a pretty badass game.
I mean, and Killer Instinct is still kicking around and stuff.
Killer Instinct is super revived. Holy crap! Somebody came in with the biggest Phoenix down ever and gave it the Killer Instinct, and it was all because Xbox needed a fighting game.
Yeah. But like I said, they're doing a 25th anniversary show. They're doing a showcase for it next month. Apparently
for Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, so basically they are going to do a Resident Evil 8 showcase. Obviously, the open beta for the multiplayer game was the RE Reverse.
Yeah, that RE Reverse. They already did a beta for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks, like I said, it looks interesting, but like I said, I'm glad that they're they're trying. I see what they're doing with it, but I'm not like that's online for that is not my thing. I get what they're doing, but whatever. But it seems to me that
I do not care.
It seems to me they have some more surprises for that, so we'll see next month when it drops for that. Meanwhile, Square decided they want to do their little showcase, which I kind of knew they were going to have to do anyway. They're releasing a sequel to Life is Strange True Colors. So it's a sequel to Life is Strange 2. They already put out an announcement trailer. They said this time it's actually going to be a whole game instead of doing it episodic like they did before. So kudos.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's great. We got announcement for their Avengers game, which they're to their credit, at least they're not.
That is all you, sir.
At least they're not abandoning it compared to freaking EA and Anthem and stuff. They're sticking with it. God damn it! And they put out a trailer for the next gen launch of Avengers, which if you already have a save game from it and all that stuff, it carries over into that. Which okay, cool. That's great. They put out a trailer for Black Panther and Hawkeye DLC. I think Hawkeye DLC is dropped. It's all free. It's not, you don't have to pay for it, which cool. I'll say the story modes is probably like the big thing for this game anyway and stuff. It's one of those situations where I play it, but I play it in spurts basically because to play it for hours on end, like I see a lot of people do when they're streaming, it's like I can't do it. I can only play it for like a smooth hour, and then I'm like I gotta stop. So, they also announced the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy.
Yeah, so we're getting all 3 games again. All the DLC, everything, and that's cool because the I would say out of the 3 Tomb Raider games, the first 2 were definitely really good games.
I mean, I bought the last game when it was free on PlayStation Plus, and it was like the definitive version.
I picked up Shadow of the Tomb Raider on Steam when it was like $5, and it was the definitive edition.
It was worth it though. I like it, and I definitely think it's enjoying it. But hey, if you want to get it, it's definitely worth it. Get all 3 games, and very good trilogy of games. But also the thing with Final Fantasy VII, which it looks like they're finally. So
Final Fantasy VII. The issue with this is, we're not getting remake part 2. No, instead
they're still working on it.
They're still working on it. What we're getting is a slight expansion. It's a slight. You know what? No, you know what it is. You know what we're getting? We're getting the Kingdom Hearts treatment with this game. And where I'm going with this is we're getting what was that one? What was that Kingdom Hearts game that came out right before Kingdom Hearts 3?
1.8
not one was it 2.8 Prelude?
Yes, 2.8 Prelude.
We're getting
basically
we're going 2.8 Prelude. We're just getting an entire section of the game. It's really just a whole ass chapter dedicated to you.
A whole 6-hour plus game that I played of that 2.8 thing, which I guess it's fun, and for the price that you paid, it was actually worth for the price and stuff. But it was kind of like with this one, what it is I believe it's a free upgrade if you have it on PlayStation 5. So you can actually and bear in mind, if you already have the PlayStation 4 copy of 7, you can actually upgrade it for free, which I will thank Sony all day, Square Enix all day for that shit. And you can actually get the DLC, I believe, for free. It's like for free. Now, if you have it on PlayStation 4, they said the upgrade is coming for that one. Thank God. I wish they announced that at the same time they did this, because it caused a lot of controversy for like a hot minute. Because people were
didn't they imply at first that the update wasn't coming to PS4?
Initially they did, and then it was like, oh no, it's coming for PS4, don't worry. And I was like, okay, thank you. I wish you guys said that, because everybody was pissed off at you for like damn near that whole day before you finally announced it and stuff.
It's like you force people to buy a console that no one can even buy right now.
Yeah, so I mean, now I will say this, at least I was telling them the only way Square Enix is going to get people on board with the 7 remake with part 2 is if they keep people in loop and what's happening. So thankfully this Yuffie thing, it keeps people in line of, okay, this is clearly what the next direction in the part 2 is going to go into. I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As long as you're still in line of releasing something later this year and giving us a date and time, because I'm assuming part 2 is going to probably drop next year, early next year, if I'm assuming correctly here.
I mean, because didn't remake part 1 come out last year?
Yeah, last year. Even though 2020 felt like it was like 3 years ago.
It really did. 2020 felt like we were sitting through that year for like a whole ass 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, so it's like when you look at it, it's like, damn, remake did come out last year, so I can't really be mad. But at least they giving us something like this year and stuff. I was like, all right, cool. As long as you're staying on schedule with your shit, that's all that matters. Which it looks like that's going to be a thing and stuff. Which if I'm thinking correctly, it's looking like whatever happens that you do in this Yuffie thing probably does transfer into the part 2 thing, which is going to probably kind of factor into Vincent probably being at the focus of part 2. If I were to really,
I'm wondering, because considering how you can go through that game, you can go through the original game without Yuffie or Vincent.
Which it makes for a different experience, to be honest.
It does. It definitely made for a different experience back then. But I would love to see like a more expanded story on Vincent in remake, because he's definitely probably one of the most interesting characters out of that whole group. Yeah. And what we got in Dirge of Cerberus, and God knows nobody wants to go back to that game. I would love to just see a more polished expansion on his origins in remake.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you have to, because I think what was interesting about the original one is, you can bring Yuffie on board, but I like that in this thing, since they're not wholly changing anything up storyline wise, but they're kind of giving a better reason why they're not making Yuffie optional, right?
Yeah.
And I think with Vincent, you can't do that, because we know Vincent has a history with Sephiroth and Lucia and Dr. Hojo. So it'd be stupid to sit there and play it up like, well, you don't need Vince. It's like, no, you need them because
Yeah, you do.
even though they gave us that piece of shit side game that I am still mad to this day. I really just donated so much of my time to.
What, they're just Cerberus?
There's a part of me that's like, I want them to remake it, but I don't want them to put any resources behind that game. I don't. I don't.
This is what happens when you like. This is what happens when somebody at Square said, I really love that game, Devil May Cry, and because Vincent has this outfit, and like the long cape, it reminds me of Dante's trench coat, and he's got a big ass gun like Dante. We're gonna make a game like his, but we're gonna bring none of the good shit from Devil May Cry into Dirge of Cerberus.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that that when they made this announcement and stuff, it kind of reminds me of they probably learned lessons from what they did with Final Fantasy 15 with the episode Gladius and all that stuff, where it was like, all right, people clearly like those episodes, so it tied into the main game. As long as we don't get too carried away with it and just keep it at just Yuffie as like a bridge between 1 and 2, we're fine. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I just need them to kind of stay on track with this.
But I got a sick feeling that if for some reason we get word that remake part 2 gets pushed back, oh, by the way, here's something to hold you over: Origins of Vincent. If they give us this because they're pushed back on the main game, so we got to play this thing with Vincent.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the whole thing with Square Enix doing the whole press conference, they said it's still on track with everything, which I'm like, thank God and stuff, because I could think the Yuffie thing is dropping in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So clearly, after they dropped the remake, they clearly was like, all right, we gotta keep working on the next thing. So again, thank God that they're staying on track with this. So hopefully, pray to God, hopefully they stay on track.
Just hope and pray that nothing will cause the game to be delayed.
Yeah. So I would say we were talking about Resident Evil. I was thinking back. I think we've said this countless times. I was thinking back to our times of playing Resident Evil. And I was hoping that we could stream both of us playing through Resident Evil 5 and 6, like the good old days on stream, because those are fun times playing those games. Despite how I feel about 6, it's more fun when you have somebody else there with you.
Let me ask you, do you have RE5 on Steam?
No.
You need to get on that.
I have it on PS4, but I don't have it on Steam.
You need to get on that, sir. I have, I bought it back when those games were like $5 a piece.
I mean, it's still cheap now. I'm looking at it right now. It's still cheap on Steam, so I'm like, all right.
Or I know you can go through like Fanatical or freaking G2A. You can get those games much cheaper than what's being offered on Steam.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, get it on Steam, and we'll definitely do this thing.
Yeah, we definitely got to do it. I hope everybody that has been watching my Kingdom Hearts run through on Twitch is enjoying it and stuff. It's been kind of interesting going back to those games because I never got a chance to really stream them because the way I had it set up, Square Enix and Infinite Wisdom was like, no, we're going to block all these scenes. And I'm like, fuck you.
Oh,
so now I don't have to worry about that.
You know what? And thanks for bringing that up, by the way. Since you brought up Kingdom Hearts, I needed to bring this up. This was actually some news that I meant for us to do on our previous show.
Yeah.
Square Enix announced the entire Kingdom Hearts collection. Probably the greatest dream for me to ever come true has come true, and it's the entire Kingdom Hearts collection being ported to PC. The biggest problem I have with this is the price. And this is the price, and it's a timed exclusive to the Epic Game Store. Epic Game Store has a nasty history of screwing people over with just a bunch of different shit. And right now, guess what they did with guess what they allowed Square to do? They allowed Square to drop the whole Kingdom Hearts collection in 4 pieces, one price being $50 off rip, and the other 3 are I think $70 off rip.
It's 60. So here's
or 60 off rip.
So here's what you get. You got Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix is $50, and that's the one That's Final Mix, Chain of Memories, 358 Days, which is just the cinematics because nobody wants to play that fucking game. 2 Final Mix, Birth by Sleep, and Coded, which is also cinematics.
So
And
each
then,
one is like 2 games and a movie. 2 games and a movie.
yeah, so you're getting 4 games in the 1.5 remix. All right, cool. And then you got the 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, which is Dream Drop Distance the game, Birth by Sleep, and then Cross Back Cover, which is just a movie. So you're getting 2 games in that for 50, which if you bought the Kingdom Hearts, the whole story, you basically get both of those for the price of $49.99.
Mm-hmm.
So people on the Epic Games Store are already getting bamboozled as is. You'd be better off just getting the PS4 and just getting the whole story that has all this.
Oh no, see, here's the thing. Even back then, when we first went into lockdown, Sony did probably one of the smartest moves ever, and they put like 90% of the games that they had in their stock on like crazy sales. And I remember Kingdom Hearts, you can get the entire Kingdom Hearts collection for like $30.
Yeah, it was minus 3, but you're still getting a lot of fucking games for your buck though. You're getting the whole collect. You're basically getting everything but 3 for, like you said, $30, and that's a sweet fucking deal. Because even without the sale, it's $42 if you go into GameStop and get it, and it's still a good goddamn deal for what you're getting, right? And then obviously you got 3 in Melody of Memory, which I gotta be honest with you, don't play Melody of Memory because it's not fucking worth it, and it's nothing but Kyrie reminiscing about previous Kingdom Hearts games and cutscenes with music, with DDR music, and I'm like, this is the biggest waste of money ever. But whatever, whatever.
What I believe is going to happen is
they're swindling people on Epic Games Store. I'm sorry, that's crazy.
They're
$160 for everything.
Actually, it was more than 200.
Well, 200, close to 200.
It's actually over 200 for everything. If you add up all,
yeah, 60 for both, 60 for Melody and 3, so that's 120. Plus the 60 for the 2.8, that's 180, and then 50 for damn right, 230.
Yeah,
$230.
It's over $200 for like I said, for buying that game in 4 parts, and
that's crazy.
And here's what's going to happen, because this is a timed exclusive. I'm hoping that this is no longer than 6 months, and after the 6 months,
Steam is going to roll out the sale.
Yeah, if Steam gets their hands on it, like immediately, the moment that crap is up, the moment Steam gets their hands on it, and hopefully, I am really, really hoping that they just slice the price.
Them sales is going to skyrocket and stuff. Oh, actually, speaking of quality of life, bruh. So Mass Effect Trilogy should be dropping soon. They did a huge quality of life update for Mass Effect 1 because let me tell you something. If you're a person that has played through the Mass Effect series, not a lot of people like playing through Mass Effect 1 because the gameplay is not that great. Mm-hmm. So what they did was they changed it up. So basically they made the gameplay play in line with how Mass Effect 2 and 3 plays.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually way more enjoyable now to play on top of the upgraded graphics and all that stuff. And I was like, thank you. That's how you do it, BioWare. Even though I still hate how you kind of screwed us over with Andromeda and you kind of like, oh, we're not doing another Mass Effect stuff, even though they're teasing that they want to do more with Mass Effect. But I'm like,
no, what they ended up doing is giving us that Snyder cut. They went back and changed the ending.
I mean, like, to me, it was one of those things where it's like you're teasing doing another Mass Effect, but like people liked Andromeda to a degree despite certain questionable decisions, and then you do this, and it's like, okay, I mean, I'm gonna buy the trilogy. Don't get it twisted. It's not even a case of me not doing it, but you know, did you hear this bullshit with what they doing with Shin Megami Tensei 3?
Oh, Shin Megami Tensei. I heard something.
Dante and all that shit is DLC that you got to buy separately. And I'm like, if you have the PS2 version?
Yeah, it was on PS2. He was a free.
If you had the PS2 version, I say stick with that. Don't buy this bullshit. Don't do this.
God, that's dumb. You know, and speaking of other dumb stuff in the gaming industry, so last year we celebrated Super Mario's 35th anniversary.
Oh, I already know where this is going. Oh boy.
We celebrate his 35th anniversary. They gave us the Mario 3D All-Stars games, which was a great, nice idea.
I wish they were remastered, but they're good.
Yeah. Well, they're slightly remastered.
Yeah, slightly.
And then they announced. Then they made probably the better announcement, which was Super Mario 3D World, along with Bowser's Fury.
Great.
All this is great. Great games, and
Nintendo,
the other special edition for Mario Maker. This is like another thing that's a part of the Mario Legacy. All like 3 big bombshells just dropped on Nintendo fans for this, right? What Nintendo did not like. At first, I could see them saying this at the beginning, because they wanted to like drive sales. They want sales to go in because, hey, you got this much time to get the game, or else, or else that's it. You're not going to be able to get it ever. So first, it was the physical copies. All these games came with physical copies, and they said, yeah, we're going to run this until March 31st, 2021. Now, they made, all the stuff went on sale on my birthday of 2020 last year. So you have from September to March. Here we are in March. Game's been doing like very well in terms of sales, in terms of people playing it. Everybody went out and bought these games. And I would have, I was hoping, I guess I was under the assumption that maybe Nintendo would say, hey, you know what? We've done such a good job, of selling all these games, and we got the numbers and the sales to prove that this, we should let this 35th anniversary hang around for a little bit longer. Nope, they still stuck to their plans, and they're saying, "Fuck you! If you don't have money,
Disney Vault, bitch."
like if you don't have money, you're guess what? Come March 31st of 2021, at the stroke of midnight into April Fool's Day, joke's on you. Those games are gone.
So I might take my black ass to Target and actually buy those games before it gets taken off now.
Like, bro,
I was really sitting on that for a minute. And I was like, oh, fuck, now I gotta get it.
I was sitting on it too, and I was thinking, do I want to go physical copy of all 3 of these games, or did I want to go digital? Because I have not bought a physical copy Nintendo game since Capcom Beat 'em Up Collection. Okay. And I really only have just 3 physical copies of games. I have the Mario Odyssey, which came with my Nintendo Switch. I have Monster Hunter Double Cross, and again Capcom Beat 'em Up Collection. All 3 of these games are the Japanese versions. Since then, any game I bought on the Switch has been digital because I got like a freaking 512 gig SD card in my Switch. Yeah. So I just buy games like whenever they go on sale, right? And I'm thinking, do I want to get these games digitally, or do I want to buy the physical copies of them? I mean, I'm kind of like, I do like the convenience of just having all the games I want to play like right there at the ready for me. So, but I don't know. This is a legacy. I really might go physical copy with these games, or I could just go ahead and act like I'm balling, like it's going out of style, buy physical copies and digital, and just keep the physical copies boxed up and just never open them. I could do that too, because these are good. When they said that these games are going to go away, like period, they're not just talking about we're going to take it off the digital market so you can't buy them. Even though if you delete them, after you purchase them, you can still download them. Cool. That's fine. I was mad when they said they were taking them off the store shelves. So like they won't put out physical copies. All the physical copies after March 31st will be gone.
Get it while you can, sir. Get it while you can, people.
So the sad thing is, because it's a first-party Nintendo game, none of those games are going on sale. Like the only
they're Smash, and none of those games. Look, I bought Legend of Zelda DX. I bought Breath of the Wild. It's still $60.
Yeah, and it's gonna stay $60. Nigga, Donkey Kong Country Returns is still $50 freaking bucks.
It's crazy.
Hell, what's the other game? The other game that platinum game I really wanted to play, Astral Chain. I was waiting for Astral Chain's price to drop. Nope, still never dropped.
It's like, fuck you, Nintendo.
I'm like, God damn it, Nintendo. You're really making this stink about keeping your games because of that Nintendo seal of quality that this game is really that good.
Get it, protect your brand, but fuck, man. Like, come on. Like,
throw us a bone here. And they did. They threw out a little Nintendo sale, but that Nintendo sale really wasn't that great. All it did was, like, I think, what was it? Mario Party, I think, was on sale, but it was it went from like $60 to like $55 or some dumb shit like that.
But hey, Nintendo's giving us a open world Pokemon finally, like a legit open world Pokemon. I'm like, oh, it took you long enough.
Look, man, Pokemon, and I'm gonna say this.
Hey, I streamed the last Pokemon game. Everybody still loves it.
No, that's cool, but I'm just gonna say something that was a super missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo should have did this back when they had the Wii U.
You would think they would have, but
no, not this game. It's another game I'm gonna bring up.
Oh,
it's a Pokemon game. They should have did. What was that Pokemon game with the one with Pikachu?
Pokemon Snap.
Thank you, Pokemon Snap for the Wii U, because the Wii U camera the Wii U gamepad had two cameras, had a front-facing camera and a rear-facing camera. Could you imagine playing an updated version of Pokemon Snap with the Wii U gamepad?
You know, Nintendo does not think of good ideas until it's too late. This is why the Wii U did not work out that well. Like, if you think about it, you go from the Wii to Wii U, and everybody was like, "Why are you making another console? Your Wii was fine." And then bam, we got the Switch, and I was like, "It was about fucking time," you know. But still, it's like the Wii U just felt like if you pay money for the Wii U, you are a fucking idiot.
The thing is that Alpha Omega Sin said this like a long ass time ago, and it was during a panel. He said, "Hey, Nintendo, put the camera on me. Pokemon Snap for the Wii U. Make it happen."
They looked at everybody in their faces like, "Fuck you, we're still gonna put it."
Everybody was like, "Holy shit!" And the way he described the idea, it would have been a brilliant idea. It would have wored.
I mean, but like I said, they're doing an open world Breath of the Wild style Pokemon game. I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens.
I saw a Reckless Tortuga video about that. They were like, "Oh, are we getting Breath of the Wild too?" Not really. We're getting a Zelda game, but it's like Dynasty Warrior.
Hey, look, you're getting Breath of the Wild Dynasty Warrior editions, which nothing wrong with that because those are fun games.
I'm like, yeah, but I didn't ask for this.
And then in typical, Nintendo fashion, we're getting updates of old Pokemon games. They're giving us Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which I actually played those on my DS because I was playing catch up on a lot of the older Pokemon games and stuff. I went on a tear for like a year where I was going through all the old Pokemon games like Black 2, Diamond and Pearl, X and Y.
During the first year of the Switch, didn't we get a Pokemon re-release?
That was for the I want to say Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah, didn't we get like a re-release of Ruby and Sapphire?
I want to say Ruby and Sapphire. That might have. Hold up, what's Ruby and Sapphire? Hold up. I'm trying to think. Was it on the Switch or was it on the DS?
It was on the. I remember being on the Switch. It was first year Switch.
Hold up. Game Boy Advance. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for the 3DS.
It was on 3DS?
Yes. Yeah.
Remember,
yeah, the 3DS and stuff. I think you might be able to buy them on the Switch. I think. Hold on, let me check because you have open. Let's go Pikachu.
Yeah,
that was on the Switch because that was basically the remake of pretty much Pokemon Yellow. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brilliant Diamond is kind of like their version of their actual official remake, second remake on it because the first remake was Let's Go Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brilliant Diamond and Pearl. So this is their first official, second official remake that was on a Switch. Sword and Shield was on Switch too, but Sun and Moon was on 3DS too.
Dude, son of a bitch.
What?
Pokemon Snap arrives on Nintendo Switch April 30th.
That was the other one. Pokemon Snap. They're doing that one. It looks really good.
And then you got Pokemon Home. And then there was supposed to be that Pokemon game that's supposed to be, I guess it goes in conjunction with Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you carry around that the Pokeball.
The Pokeball thing and stuff, which I will give them credit for Pokemon Go in the fact that when COVID hit and everybody was stuck at home, they made it to where you can play Pokemon Go from home and you can just kind of go to any spot to spin the thing and stuff. So I give them credit for that. Go is still going. I haven't touched Go since dead serious since before the
since
pandemic.
COVID.
Since February last year. So I'm pretty sure if I log in now, I'm like, dear God, how do I play this game? And it's like whatever. So it's yeah, what a time, man. Like I said, I'm loving that Nintendo is not announcing a new console. They're definitely the Switch is like the greatest shit ever. And I might go out and get that 3D All-Stars game now. I'm like, you guys are really just as stingy as Disney with like, well, put it back in the vault. You'll never. They literally just said the digital when like you said, the digital version just disappearing. I was like, wow.
Yep, the digital version will be gone by April 1st.
Like, yo, I still don't understand that. I really don't. I will never understand that whole idea.
I won't either.
I mean, it's. Oh, speaking of which, before we go, so PlayStation 3, Vita, and PlayStation Portable digital stores are going to be closing in a couple of months. Now, it's kind of up in the air on what that's going to entail. Is it going to be like Nintendo's way, where they just wholesale shut the shit down and you can't access it, or is it just going to be a case of you just can't buy anything new and you can still kind of update quality of life stuff for older games?
I think it could possibly mean that if they're shutting down, they said they're shutting down the stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think from my understanding, because you can still buy games, well, not buy games, but you can still like go through the market on the web. And as long as you have your PlayStation connected to the internet, you can go in that way, go to your download list and just hit download. And you can download like anything that you had purchased before the store went down.
Yeah. Because it makes, I knew the writing was on the wall when they sat there and said they would stop doing free PlayStation 3 games for Plus members, which that makes sense because you're kind of moving on to the PS4 and stuff. But I'm assuming it probably means that, hey, they ain't going to offer anything new, which I keep forgetting that the PSP is still a thing and they obviously are still kind of sort of making games for the PSP.
More or less, like, I want to say not the PSP, but the Vita. Like,
yeah, Vita, my bad.
The Vita is mostly getting stuff from Japan.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot. Like I said, we don't know the extent of which it means and stuff, but I understand why a lot of people automatically deduce that it might be the Nintendo way, which is Nintendo will wholesale be like, yeah, if you got a Wii, tough shit, we're shutting it down. It's like, god damn, like really.
And what sucks about what Nintendo did was, and I could see Sony doing this too.
Mm-hmm.
Where Nintendo offered the NES and SNES collections,
which is,
well, if you have the Nintendo Online, excuse me, if you have Nintendo Online, you have access to like all these old ass games. Then it's like the NES catalog and the SNES catalog, which they update on the regular. Well, they just update it with games.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I mean, yeah. Look, at this point, after messing around and literally jailbreaking my PlayStation Mini to have all the PlayStation games on it, it's kind of like, yeah, I can't be mad at this. I have this little PlayStation Mini. I can just hook up to the HD and play it and stuff. So
I still need to get my hands on the PS Mini.
Yeah, so this is great. Like once I saw the video of somebody and how they did it, I was like, this is excellent. All the games on a 64 gigabyte little
like all the games
like this.
Yep, all the games you want on a little flash drive, and then on top of that, you have a PlayStation that automatically plugs in via HDMI to your TV.
So if you want to stream it, boom, there you go. They made
it
very easy.
That's definitely
it's a game changer. It's a game changer, especially if you had the Sega Genesis Mini.
I do, dude. I still got my Genesis Mini.
Did you get all the games on it yet, or you didn't mess around with that yet?
No. Here's the beauty. I bought the game. I bought the Genesis Mini for my birthday.
Where?
I have not touched it since.
It's still in the box.
It is still in the box. I would mod it. I would do all the mods. I'd do everything to it, but I'm like, I don't think I want to. Like, I don't even know if I even want to touch it. I don't even know if I want to open it.
Might as well.
I mean, it's not like they're rare or anything like that because you can still get them. I still see them at Target all the time. Now, the Nintendo ones, that they're on crack, because I tried looking for the SNES Mini and the NES Mini, and they want stupid money for them, and I'm like,
I mean, come on, dog. You knew that was gonna happen.
I said, look, I'm gonna wait for the GameCube. Like, I wait for the GameCube Mini or the N64 Mini. Like, I'd say the one thing I'm really waiting for, since I know I can still get my hands on a PlayStation Mini, give me the Dreamcast Mini.
That shit will sell out just as quick as PlayStation 5s and Xbox Ones are. Xbox Series X.
All they got to do is announce it. If they announce a Dreamcast Mini, do you know how insane that would be? A Dreamcast Mini comes out, dude. I believe it's gonna put all of those freaking modders out there to shame. Like, it's really gonna make people go, well, damn, what do we do? Because everybody that was taking all the old Dreamcast consoles and modding them with like the GDMUs and putting SSDs inside of them and swapping out the freaking 56K modem for a broadband modem, which is like stupid rare and expensive to get your hands on.
Yep.
If Sega is, I swear, Sega, please be smart. Do what you did with the Genesis Mini. Give us a Dreamcast Mini. Hell, give us a Saturn Mini. Can we please get a Saturn Mini?
They're not gonna do it.
I know they're not gonna do it, because especially seeing how the Saturn didn't even take off in America. It's like you're only gonna give us those 40 games that we were able to play in America and call it a day.
It's like they seriously do not like that. It's
meanwhile the Japanese version is gonna get like a shitload of games that none of us has even heard of or played. And you really think they're gonna take the time to like freaking localize and English patch those games? Hell no.
Nah. That will never happen. Come on. But yeah,
we have a much higher chance of a Dreamcast Mini happening, and I would be more than happy to get that. I'll be first in line to get that shit just so I can mod it.
But yeah, but anyways, that is it for pressing buttons. We'll see what the next episode brings. But yeah, subscribe to our Twitch channel. Like I said, it's gonna be more gaming on there and stuff, and hopefully once we get this whole thing with the Steam and I can finish up building this PC when they actually have graphics cards and all that stuff happen. That's a different discussion altogether.
Don't even get me started.
Probably see us do a little bit of a team up on Resident Evil and stuff. But I don't know, at most and stuff, if anything, I might go through Resident Evil RE2 remake and 3 remake and 4 and stuff and call it a day. I don't know. This is a part of me, like, it's like I want to go through 1, but it's like I don't really feel like playing through 1 and 0. Even though I like the HD versions of them, it's like I
have 1, and
I have both of them for the PlayStation 4 when they came out with that dual 0 and 1.
Yeah, the double pack.
The double pack and stuff, but it's just like so I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, I do like 4, and seeing all the speed runs for 4 had me like Jones and like I really need to pick back up Resident Evil 4 because that was a fun game.
Especially you gotta get it on Steam, because that HD project is something else, man. I fucking love that thing.
Yeah. But anyways, thanks for everybody for joining in, and if you just now are listening on the other side of it and stuff, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.